Good morning, Mark. Hey, that day has finally come. Our wedding is tomorrow. I can't wait.
Oh, hey Beth. Yeah, finally, huh? So, how are things at home? You folks doing okay? It's been a while since you've been back.
Yeah, my folks are all excited. Mom's cooking me up my favorite food. It'll be nice.
That sounds great.
We already submitted the marriage certificate. So, although we're officially married, it's still nice to have a real wedding. Makes it legitimate, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. All the preparations are set, and all we have to do is wait, and you'll be walking down the aisle in no time.
You're making me nervous already. Well, I better get to bed. Got a long day tomorrow. Let's meet at the wedding hall tomorrow.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be there.
Let's see. This is Randy, a friend of Mark's. I'm sure you heard from Mark that I made all the arrangements for the wedding. That little surprise he talked to you about? I'll set that in motion right when you say your vows. Just so you know, this little show is gonna wow everyone there. My idea, by the way. Yes, you have a bundle of nerves. Hope it goes without a hitch. Okay, see you later. No response from you about that last message I sent you earlier. Oh well, suppose you're just busy getting ready. You know all about how this is gonna go down. I mean, Mark and went over it countless times. Okay, here I go. Let's get the show on the road. Okay, that's that. Mission accomplished. Boy, you really did a great acting job there, Beth. Her surprise, Oscar material for sure. Man, I ran in there, stopped the whole proceeding, swept you off your feet to my car waiting outside, and we took off. The performance you put on was so real, yelling and screaming at me to stop. It was totally awesome. To be honest, I actually thought it was all real for a second. But did you really have to keep up the performance in the car? I suppose you really got into character, and I understand that it's probably hard to set your mind straight again. You went so far that you ended up ripping your wedding dress. Just so you know, that was not my fault. You just overdid it with your acting. I don't want you charging me for damaging the dress or anything later on. And costs like that, I mean, I suggest you ask Mark about that. Okay, now that the plan is over, I'm gonna go into hiding until things cool down. See you later, and good luck with the rest.
Well, that prank was a piece of cake. Great planning by yours truly. Bet you were super surprised. So how'd it go? You should have seen everyone's faces. You heard about our little prank from Randy, right? It's not every day you see that kind of elaborate prank. Awesome, wasn't it? I already explained everything on my end, so it's safe to come back. Alrighty then. I better get going. Hey Beth, you there? You even seeing my text? I know that prank probably really got you, but relax and come on back. All is safe now. If you don't come back in time, all the scheduling for the wedding is gonna get all screwed up. Oh, I get it. That prank was a bit too much for you. You pissed off at me or something? Is that why you're not responding to my messages? Is that it? Or is this like your reverse playing a prank on me? Is that it? Come on, Beth. Women dream of such situations. It's like that famous movie. All women want to be in this kind of position at least once in their lives. This is a surprise that me and my friend Randy played on you. Something you'll remember for the rest of your life. Oh, come on, you should be overjoyed that it played out so smoothly. Well, I'm serious. Please get back here ASAP. Where the hell are you? Stop being so stubborn. You know what you just did? You didn't get here, so we had no choice but to cancel the wedding. How could you do this? I'm not going to pay a cent for the cost. You know that, right? The bill's going to you. I told all the guests that you suddenly had a change of heart and took off with Randy. That the whole thing was actually real. That's true anyway, right? I mean, I can't even get a hold of Randy for God's sake. You're still with him, aren't you? You know what, Beth? I really didn't think you're that kind of woman. I had you pegged all wrong. I was completely snookered by you. How could you do this to me? The only thing left is divorce. Yeah, that's right, divorce. You're gonna pay for this too. I mean, literally.
Mark,
Finally, I was wondering when you were gonna respond. Where the hell you been? How could you run off with Randy like that? It was supposed to be a friggin' prank, for God's sake. So how does it feel to call me like that? I was such an idiot, I thought I was the one playing the prank.
did Dad contact you?
Huh? Dad? What are you talking about?
I'm at the hospital now.
Pardon me? At the hospital? Why?
I was kidnapped from that wedding by that guy, Randy. He took me to some place and threw me into this dark room. He unlocked the door, and I wasn't able to get out.
All you had to do was send me a message on your phone. Did you even think about that?
My phone is at the wedding hall. I can't very well carry it while I said my vows.
Excuse me? At the wedding hall?
I was finally able to get it back like 5 minutes ago. As a result, I wasn't able to see the messages that you and Randy sent to me. I never saw those messages. I had the fingerprint lock on it, so I wasn't able to get someone to check the messages either. And there seems to have been a total lack of communication between you and Randy. I'm sure you can comprehend the current situation, right?
The current situation? Well, what do you mean?
I'm saying all this time I wasn't able to get help from anybody. I was completely helpless.
You serious? But I was only trying to...
I later learned that I was locked up in a warehouse. It just so happened that a security guard was making his rounds and happened to find me passed out on the floor. I was taken to the hospital by ambulance. All I had were some scratches and bruises, but I did hit my head in that dark room. So I'll be staying overnight here just in case.
Which hospital are you staying at?
Do you really think I'm going to tell you?
Of course I want you to tell me. What are you talking about? I'm your husband, for God's sake. I'm concerned for the well-being of my wife. We also have to talk about the wedding. We have to reschedule it, right? We have to explain the whole situation to everyone. Clear any misconceptions.
Wait. You're not seriously thinking about rescheduling the wedding, are you?
Of course I am. This time we'll do it right. No more silly pranks. I do it all different. I'll think of some kind of surprise that you really appreciate. Of course, any surprise will be totally risk-free. I give you my word. I'll think this through, I swear.
No thanks. I've had enough. I want a divorce.
Oh, you're not serious. Come on, Beth, it was just a joke. Hey, Beth, I know you're seeing this. Pick up. Why the hell did you hire a lawyer? I went to my dad's place after the conversation with you, and he told me to never come back home again. And then today, a lawyer you hired came to my place. What the heck is going on here, Beth? He's demanding that I pay damages to you, and that I have to pay for the entire wedding. Seriously? What the hell is this, Beth? We're married. I'm married like a month. You can't do this. And you went ahead and canceled our honeymoon too? What's gotten into you, Beth? You were looking forward to that trip. What's going on in that head of yours?
What's going on? I want to ask you the same thing, Mark. Well, what's going on in my head right now is that, well, put it simply, divorce.
Wait, what?
Do you even realize the sheer terror I went through with your demented prank? I get the feeling you have not an inkling of care for what you did, or what emotional distress you caused me.
Come on, Beth, it was a wedding prank. A surprise, and a pretty cool one at that. All I did was think up the most elaborate prank I could play on you. Something that you'd remember for the rest of your life. I know maybe it was a little wild, but I bet you won't forget it anytime soon. Am I right?
You call that prank a little wild? Your little wild prank ruined the entire wedding! Not to mention our marriage!
That's because you didn't come back right away.
Did you not hear the part where I said I was locked in a warehouse? Are you really that daft, Mark? Oh yeah, didn't I also say I had no way of communicating? On top of that, you canceled the wedding and said that I actually did run off with Randy. You made me out to be a total tramp. I'm also thinking of suing you for defamation.
Oh, hold it a second. Wait, what?
I want a divorce now. Not tomorrow or next week. Now! I don't want anything to do with you. Just being around you is trauma for me. Am I getting through to you, Mark? Please, I don't ever want to see you again.
But I was only trying to make the wedding something unforgettable, something we could talk about for years to come. Hey, Beth, what the hell's going on? I just learned that both me and Randy, we just got fired from our jobs. Is this all you're doing?
Please, Mark, not again.
What do you mean, not again? This is serious business. This is our livelihood you're talking about. How are we supposed to pay you for damages and the cost of the wedding if we don't have jobs? You tell me, Beth. Lose my job and all payment stops. You're just making it worse for you.
I'm sure you already heard where I was locked up after Randy kidnapped me from the wedding.
Pardon me?
That warehouse is owned by your company. The company that you and Randy work at. You used the company warehouse for your treacherous little prank. Do you really think that the company would simply look the other way? Do you guys really think you guys can keep your jobs after dragging the company into this, frankly, dangerous prank?
Oh, but we were on...
Anyways, you're barking up the wrong tree. I had nothing to do with you guys getting fired. The company made the decision all on their own.
Then maybe you can talk to them, you know? Get them to forget the whole thing, that you aren't gonna press charges or anything. That we didn't mean any harm.
Are you really asking me to help you?
Yeah, it's the least you could do for your husband.
Our divorce has already gone through, so I really don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, hold it. What did you just say?
I was just getting to that. My lawyer submitted the divorce papers with your signature on it, so it's done. We already submitted all the papers at City Hall. It's all over. Kaput.
You already submitted them.
Yeah, that's right. Sooner the better, right? About the damages I was demanding, your folks paid the entire amount today. They said you'll be paying them back for it. Same with Randy. I just checked my bank account. He deposited the entire amount I was demanding. I got all I was asking for. Why stay married, right?
But so soon? Couldn't you have waited? I mean, we loved each other all these years. How could you just drop it like that? It just seems so unexpected.
You brought this all on yourself with that stupid prank. I thought you had more common sense, Mark. And please, did we really love each other like you said?
Beth, come on, let's give this one more chance. What do you say? I'll think of a real interesting surprise for you this time. The safe kind, I swear.
Are you still talking about surprises? What's this weird obsession with surprises, Mark? It's kind of creepy, to be honest.
But the reason why you went through with the divorce is because you didn't appreciate my prank, right?
Pardon me?
So, please give me another chance.
I don't understand you, Mark. Your goofy thought process really bewilders me.
Beth, please.
Goodbye forever, Mark. That guy. He couldn't figure out what he did wrong to the very end. I keep asking myself why I even fell for this guy. And however short, marrying that idiot. Considering the way that guy thinks, I was worried he would come barging into our house, demanding to talk to me. So, my parents and I decided to move to a neighboring town, some distance away from Mark. And what do you know? Just as I had foreseen, Randy and Mark came banging on my door late one night. They apparently thought we were still living there, and made quite a scene in front of the house. I guess they figured all would be resumed once I got back together with him, and probably thought that they could get their jobs back as well. But all they did was get arrested by the police for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. Luckily, we weren't there anymore. Now, both of them had criminal records, and their prospects for a decent job went straight down the drain. The decision to move out and start a new life with my family was the best decision I made. I work remote, so there's no particular job position I'm tied to, so I'm sure they will never locate me again. No more silly pranks for me.
Hey, Shiloh. It's been such a long time. How have you been, sweetie? Is little Tommy okay? Huh? Is this Allison? Bryce from kindergarten's mom, right? Hey, long time no see. It must have been, what, over 10 months since our kids left kindergarten? Feels like forever. I know, right? Time sure does fly, huh? Anyway, did you see all the snow? The snow? Oh yeah, now that you mention it, I did hear something about some snow. Is there a lot? Now that you mention it, what the hell? There's tons of the stuff. Sorry, I only heard about it through a friend, so I can't exactly say I've seen it. Come on, Shiloh. You're not some hermit shut-in who lives under a rock, are you? Well, I'm not, but I do work remotely, which means I probably spend a lot more time at home than the average person. Actually, I always have to remind myself how important it is to go outside every now and then for the sake of my health. Fresh air is essential. Exactly! Especially for children. They're creatures of the outdoors. You really should be careful not to keep that little Tommy indoors too much. He's small enough as it is without having a vitamin D deficiency to deal with, too. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, let's get down to business. Today's the first major snowfall we've had around here in years. It's been falling non-stop, and it's piling up like you wouldn't believe. Which is why we're having a snowball fight tomorrow morning. Oh, really? That sounds like a blast. Right? We'll be borrowing your backyard for the venue. Huh? Excuse me? My backyard? Yes, it's so big that you even have a doggy play area and some soccer goals for the kids. Isn't that right? We could probably throw snowballs all day with a small army of us and still never run out of ammo. Maybe so, back when we actually lived there. But we moved out a while ago. Oh, you did? Oh, well, it's not like that really matters. Of course it matters. How could it not matter when it's not my house anymore? You have to get permission from the new owner first. The new owner? Fine. Go ahead and let your husband know then. What? What does my husband have to do with anything? He doesn't live there anymore either. You need permission from the actual owner. Enough of this. I have more important things to attend to. But I just want to say a big thanks, Shiloh. We're all so excited for tomorrow. Toodles! No, Allison, wait. What the heck? Are you serious? You still seem to think we live there despite me having told you we don't. Are you gonna show up at my old house in the morning? We moved a few months back when my daughter graduated kindergarten, which means it doesn't belong to us anymore. It has a new owner, and you can't just invite yourself into their yard for a snowball fight. You can ask for mine and my husband's permission till the cows come home. But since we no longer have anything to do with the place, you're wasting your time. Please at least make sure you knock on their door first and see how they feel about this. You aren't even reading my messages. Anyway, asking me for permission to use a yard that no longer belongs to me is meaningless. Please read these messages before you go and do something you regret. Hey, sis. Good evening. Sorry to message you so late. Are you free right now? Hey, Shiloh. Sure. What's up? Sorry to be a burden, but I was wondering if you wouldn't mind checking something for me. I need confirmation on something. Confirmation? What is it? It's about mine and Stewie's old house. Do you know whether there's someone new living there yet? You mean like, did someone else move in? I'm not really sure. I don't tend to go to that part of town anymore, so it's hard to say. I've probably been there twice at most since you moved out all those months back, and I'm sorry to say, but I wasn't really paying attention to your old house. Okay, that's fair enough. Anyway, what's all this about? Did you leave something behind? No, it's not that. Here's the thing. The mom of one of the boys from Tommy's class back in kindergarten has taken it upon herself to arrange a snowball fight in the yard of my old house under the assumption that it still belongs to me. What? People actually do that kind of thing? She's absolutely convinced that we still live there. I tried my best to explain that we don't, but she stopped responding to my messages, and I'm concerned she's gonna get herself and her whole family in trouble. Oh dear. Her name's Allison, and her son's called Bryce. He was friends with my Tommy in kindergarten. She always had a reputation for being a bit of a trouble causer back then. I did my best not to let myself get too involved with her at the time, and ironically, we didn't have any problems back when our kids actually played together most days. Who would have thought she'd be causing me this much hassle 10 months down the line after moving house? My husband just got back from work. He passes through that area most days on his ways to the office, so maybe he'll know something we don't. Give me a minute. I'm gonna go ask him. Okay, thanks. Hey, sorry I kept you waiting. So what did he say? As far as he can tell, the house is still empty. So no one else moved in yet then? He said he can't say for definite, but he says it always seems to be locked. The curtains are always closed, and he doesn't get the feeling people are living there. I see. But in that case, I wonder if that means it's being managed by the real estate agent. Besides, the fence is pretty high, so I doubt anyone could get in without going to some serious effort. Yeah, I think you're right on both points. How about getting in touch with the real estate agent just in case? Good idea. I'll give them a call as soon as they open tomorrow morning. Thanks, sis. I'm really sorry to message you this late. I know you have to be up early for work. Don't be silly. I'm happy to help, Shiloh. Hopefully we can prevent this crazy Allison woman from doing anything illegal. Speak later. See ya, sis. Thanks a bunch. Sweet dreams.
Shiloh, answer your phone! Would you mind explaining what on earth is going on here? Some strange family I've never seen before came out of nowhere and started yelling at us. They asked us what we were doing in their yard and threatened to call the police.
Good morning, Allison. It would appear you're in quite the mess, huh?
You don't say, Captain Obvious. What's going on? Explain now.
How many times did I tell you that it was no good getting permission from me because it's not my house anymore?
I don't know anything about that. It's the first I've heard of it. Who were those people? Oh my god, the police are here. They actually called them.
For the time being, I think it's probably best you focus on the predicament you're in. Good luck.
Wait, Shiloh? Please tell me why this is happening. Shiloh! How could you do this to me? Why didn't you tell me you'd moved out? You knew me and my family planned on showing up at your old house for a snowball fight, and you just let me! Shiloh! I'm talking to you! Woman! Answer me!
Hi again, Allison. I just got off the phone with the real estate agent. They told me everything. About how you showed up first thing in the morning with your own ladder and climbed over the tall fence very clearly designed to keep out intruders, before undoing the locks from the inside and letting in, as you put it before, a small army of your friends and family. Next, as if running around tossing snowballs at each other on someone else's property wasn't enough, you decided to light a bonfire on their lawn and roast marshmallows for everyone while you were at it. Then, the family scheduled to move in today arrived amidst the chaos. They were so horrified when they saw a gang of complete strangers running around like lunatics in their new yard that they reported you to the police. You know what you did is called, don't you, Allison? Trespassing.
Like I already told you, I had no idea. It's your fault for not telling me in the first place. How was I supposed to know? Do you think I'm psychic?
You don't need to be able to bend spoons with your mind to read my messages. I told you enough times.
No, you did not.
Why don't you try looking through our chat history then? Scroll through yesterday's messages and you'll see it's all there. I didn't just tell you once either.
Oh my god, I didn't see that yesterday. I stopped reading them before you told me the important bits. Why didn't you mention it earlier? What you did was as good as not telling me.
Don't be so ridiculous. What else could I do? Do you have no concept of personal responsibility? You illegally entered someone's property after I told you very clearly you'd be doing just that. Then you stopped reading my messages, which would have prevented you from being arrested today because you had, quote, more important things to attend to.
Enough of your harping on. Do something. Get me out of this mess. I don't want to get arrested.
Do something? What could I possibly do for you?
My husband just told me he's divorcing me.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
He threatened to divorce me just last month if I ever did anything to cause him trouble again.
Wow, last month? Really? So you knew you were on thin ice and you did this anyway? You were so committed to your illegal snowball fight that you were willing to throw away your marriage over it? I hope the marshmallows were tasty at least.
I never knew this would happen. I just thought it would be a fun day for the kids.
I actually thought you'd take responsibility when you read my messages and realized what you'd done. How foolish of me. It would appear you're delusional beyond help.
How horrible.
Isn't this the natural conclusion of you completely disregarding my warnings? How am I horrible? I tried to prevent this.
I'm begging you. Please convince my husband.
Convince him of what?
Tell him I have permission to use the yard, please.
For the 7 millionth time. Me and my family moved out of that house months ago, which means asking us for permission to use the yard is meaningless.
Why?
Because it belongs to the family who just called the police on you.
Please just do something. This isn't a joke. I could be in serious trouble here.
Clean up the mess you made yourself. You thought you'd spend today roasting marshmallows, but it turns out the only one getting roasted is you.
Ah!
To give a brief summary on what happened to Allison after the whole trespassing incident, compensation for the total wrecking of that poor family's new yard, among other things, was settled out of court with Allison's husband, who very kindly agreed to lend his wife the money. However, he was absolutely furious, and he'd already filed for a divorce before the day was up. Citing her dangerous antisocial behavior, the judge deemed Allison to be unfit to have custody of their son, and so Bryce went to live with her husband. Afterwards, she did try moving back in with her parents, but apparently they'd already received word of what happened through several relatives, also furious, who she took along that day, completely unaware that they were breaking the law. As a result, no one in her family, parents, siblings, even distant relatives, wanted anything further to do with her. Naturally, in her mind, I was the one responsible for all of this. And I got several threatening messages demanding I pay her compensation to make up for it. Isn't the block feature just the best? Last I heard, she's currently working like a dog to keep up with the compensation she owes for wrecking the yard and the child support she owes her ex-husband. Can you imagine a bigger nuisance than her? It's hard to believe she's actually a real person. I learn something new about the world every day.